Yeah, it's going to leave them in a tough spot for sure. So we have Maxi kicking it off, coming through with what he knows best, and that is the Queen Charge Drag Rider. He is definitely one of those players that is bringing the rates up for last week for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen just how impressive he is at breaking down the base and having every single little detail calculated. The first Coco Loon did indeed find that seeking air mine to protect the healer. And look at this, turning buildings invisible. But what was that invisibility for, actually?
Yeah, he hasn't set a wall break in place to get the queen access, so I'm not quite so sure. I would have thought it would have been to get the queen working inside towards the eagle compartment. Does get the wall break down and is actually going to path the queen to this multi-targeting inferno likely, though. Let's see the positioning of the wall break.
A lot of healers. The healers are getting picked off from the air defense. And wow, I'm not sure what was just happening there for Maxi, but I can't help but feel that was a couple of mistakes on his part, having to use another rage. Now, I do note that he used a rage right in the same area in front of where the queen was going, where the invisibility was used. So I wonder if he wanted to use a rage, but he's now lost both of his healers as well.
Oh, this is going to be a tough go for Maxi. Definitely going to have to think on the fly how to adjust this one. Again, we still have the eagle remaining, though he could push his path from here since he's starting the king, tanking for the queen, working in. He still has a jump, but the queen's not going to get as much value as he intended out of this jump to pick up. Let's see if she can even pick up the multi. Already down on health, and do we even have the unicorn alive to help her out? It does not look like it. Does jump the king though, so I like the adjustment here. He's given it everything he possibly can to try and turn it back around. But let's talk about this approach, because he's starting the Dragon Rider up at the top side of the base. Is this to help funnel? Or is this where he's going to come in with his push leading to the Town Hall? It means he's going to have to force through the center of the base, try and avoid the Town Hall, and still get through that eagle, which is going to continuously fire away.
Yeah, I think he wanted the queen in the beginning to walk to the right and go to the Town Hall, actually. So he's had to flip everything here. He will indeed get the Town Hall down, but obviously Dragon Rider's not going to the center. I'd have to relook, but I don't think he set up the funnel massively for the queen to walk in that direction, but I'm pretty confident he wanted the queen to walk around to the right and break her into the Town Hall, and that's why the invisibility was used. It's meant the Dragon Riders have almost had to be used on this side for the security of the Town Hall, and much like we'd just seen in the war with Tompanai and ATN, it's not the percentage we expected for the opening attack.
It definitely isn't, and this kind of a start to the war can quickly give MCS a lot of steam to capitalize off of, giving them more security up in the rankings, but also forcing Tribe a little bit further down. I'm wondering if they're starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. It could be getting in their heads at this point, though. You know, Maxi isn't a player that typically crumbles under pressure. We do see him coming in when it matters. Let's see if they can turn this back around. Just like one solid defense could be enough. That could give them what they need. Though an 80% is, you know, it's a bit tough when you're in that spot, because typically you're seeing these teams hit around 88 and higher, closer into that 90% mark.
Yeah, particularly with MCES coming out from the perfect, and the fact that if they get this win over Tribe, they have, well, guaranteed their spot, I would say, into the finals. Tribe certainly, like we said, have 2 matches, but they also want to try and get this matchup, if nothing else, to try and knock MCES down and put a bit of pressure on so they don't qualify. Cynthia often uses the Skelly Donut, and I can't believe how successfully he has done it in that area, getting all of the value he wanted, the Clan Castle and the Scatter, across 2 different compartments.
And he not only uses this combination, but he often, as we saw in the first matchup, uses the Zapquake with it, which leaves him with nothing for the Lalo part. No spells allowed, which relies heavily on what remains on this base, and the Warden value has to pick up quite a bit. Noticing that we have the Eagle and the Scattershot within close proximity, and also that Royal Champion there, that he can clip the Headhunters, get them through from that startup point. It will give him what he needs just for that Warden to do a lot of work, but he also has to rely heavily on the heroes as well to pick up this value, taking down the Town Hall compartment.
Just look at the push he has moving into that area. He stalled out a little bit with the tornado trap, and the Royal Champion will activate the Town Hall, but will not have the strength to get that down. He does have the Ice Golem moving in to try and help the Queen, but her ability is about to go, and I'm not sure she is going to get the Town Hall, but what does he have inside the Stone Slammer here? Is this going to help out? Looks like it is a Dragon Rider and balloons, so he had that in case he had to get the Town Hall with it, but he's already sent some balloons as well, just to make sure.
Yeah, and he's brought in the Warden, which means this ability is likely going to come off earlier than he had initially anticipated. Unless he decides to sacrifice these loons, which he does, but the Warden is super low health, so he is not going to get this ability off exactly when he had hoped to time it, though he has the pass coming in, the loons coming to the outside. The Headhunters are here, so he can get it off early, clipping the Headhunters to allow them to take down the Royal Champion. It's just that he's lost a lot of loons in this initial push. Can he make it as far as getting to the back end through the scatter shot all the way to the Eagle?
Like you said, he's got no spells to help them through either. No haste to speed them up, no freeze for the defenses. Balloons in the middle going down fast, and the Electro Owl did not get the multi-target Inferno. That really, I mean, there's a lot of things missed there, but there's no chance to get through to the middle, even if he'd have got down the or the scatter shot and the eagle. A nice try. I always admire the creativity from Cynthia and the risks that he takes. But this is ultimately what happens. Sometimes it is just not going to pay off for you. It does mean for Tribe, though, it is a lifeline that they might not have expected following that 80% attack.
Yeah, it's exactly pretty much how we said it. You know, that 80% was a bit rough for them. They needed to see an opening, but the problem is that if you're hitting below 88% and this being an 89%, that's where you're going to see the biggest issue, because that went all sorts of wrong. Unfortunately, not getting the Town Hall down, beautiful adjustment to get it through, but look at what he was able to turn it around to. An 89% after that happened is a huge push for a team to be able to recover. And that's what you're going up against.
Well, you will take the lead however you get it, whether it's percentage, whether it's stars. MCES are ultimately in the lead. If both teams were to 3-star from here on out, MCES obviously win, but Tribe will pretty much be relying on a defense, and even if they get a 2-star themselves, if they can catch up that percentage, it is all that is required. So still anybody's game. These teams in 3rd and 4th within the rankings, so both just about ready to qualify, but not there yet.
Yeah, I think Tribe's probably breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief after seeing that perfect war from MCS, knowing that they were able to hold back Cynthia, which is definitely a huge accomplishment, and just likely waiting to see if they can do a little bit more in this one. But Nebrax first needs to come in with the triple, start applying some pressure and get themselves back in this one, coming through with the Hydra, as you pointed out, the newly named Hydra that is official. As of the last World Championships, the COC Esports Twitter page had announced that. So we do have the Blizzard coming in to help pick off the Town Hall, section off the pathing here, and that's eliminating a big, nasty value that you don't want to worry about your dragons pathing through. And this is going to give more opportunity for the heroes now to work a little bit further down the outside edge and picking up some good value.
Nice to get the Town Hall down. I feel the last invisibility spell didn't really offer him much. Maybe that could have been saved, but you will take the value that you expected. You'll take the Town Hall going down, and now he's just trying to patiently take down the Clan Castle troops. Headhunter removed. That's always a nice addition once the Queen is not getting blasted by that. And here comes the dragons from the left-hand side using the skeleton spell to try and tank initially for this entire area.
A beautiful path here coming in from the dragons. Queen still alive, working on the outside edges. The king does the tanking here, just making that push into the center of the base. And we still have the royal champion who can come through, re-navigate the pathing, help flank this, push it back along as we see the dragons actually cutting and splitting around the multi-targeting inferno, which isn't ideal because it's giving that multi some opportunity to start burning away at the dragons as they're focused on some of the other outlying structures.
They've just pathed everywhere, haven't they? Which is not what you need. Can this dragon in the middle get the multi? It's not going to. Now, the freeze does indeed help the Dragon Riders getting this scatter shot. He's still got a good spread, and he's got the Queen ability, the Royal Champion ability, and a freeze spell. But where does he choose to use it? On the enemy queen for the Dragon Rider to get through. I can't even speak right now, Lady B. There's so much going on right here. I don't know how Brax is keeping on top of this, but the rocket balloon in for the multi, and it's going to get that down, which could just be the savior.
Wow, the Royal Champ coming in right there. That got the multi in the center down, which I would have worried about this dragon. The queen obviously not able to really reach it unless she was to beat through walls, which would have taken her forever and a day. Honestly, I'm not sure how much health that dragon had left to try and do it, but it would have been mighty close. Absolutely OP coming in there.
I don't know how he held it together at the end. There were just troops everywhere holding on to the spells, and he timed them all brilliantly, I would think. I couldn't keep up commentating, never mind actually attacking. That shows the power of a rocket balloon for the back end of the base, though. You can really ping it to wherever you want. There was actually a seeking air mine, but it obviously just could not keep up with the speed of the rocket balloon.
Yeah, those are nice back pocket items, similar to the invisibility spell. That's the one troop that we can actually see often coming in to help you get out of those tough situations that you can wind up in on the back end of your raids. Now, Remio coming in with the Zap Drag. We've seen some beautiful Lalos coming in from him, including already today, but switching it up a bit, we can already see how he's shaping up the pathing here. The Zapquake making that connection there, opening up the Eagle compartment for the King and Queen to work through. Now, he has a tank of this Ice Golem here. That's because we've got a lot of damage coming in. So these players are really looking at ensuring they can get the full value down, knowing that these ground bows are going to quickly pick away, especially if we have defending heroes like the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen that are defending their podium there.
Absolutely. And just notice that Royal Champion on the left-hand side is kind of getting caught up on the Tesla farm a little bit, but since he took all of that down with the lightning spells, it's not really going to cause him much of an issue, and he is pushing towards that multi-target Inferno, but the enemy Queen stuck on the Royal Champion, and I'm not sure he's actually going to reach that with his push. I'm not sure he even wanted to, actually, now that I'm looking at it.
I don't know. I suspect he wanted to get that single targeting Inferno down, and that did hang this up quite a bit because we see the pathing for the dragons working through. They will have to contend with that on the back end of the base, but we'll see if he holds on to a freeze. That's the biggest worry for any of these high hit point defenses, is those single targeting Infernos. The pathing is beautiful leading into the core with the push of the blimp to take down the town hall, forcing the dragons through. No chance of them bypassing along. Drops of poison, but the headhunters are still alive. Will the Electro Owl actually knock it out before it makes it to the Warden? Yes. Yes, it will. And the dragons come in with the assist there as well.
He's still got a lot of troops, but as you rightly pointed out, Lady B, that bottom compartment at 8 o'clock is very dangerous with the single target Inferno and the air defense. If he can flush through this area fast enough, he might just have enough dragons left over to tank that single target Inferno. They are moving to the area, but a couple of them are caught at the north, and he needs as much as he can down the bottom. Owl is tanking and chaining through. The Dragon Rider doesn't get it, and even if the Grand Warden finishes it off, he will be flying in range of that air defense momentarily, and I just don't think he has the force now to get this one.
With 31 seconds left to go, no matter how healthy these dragons are at the top, with the passage cleared out, it would not even be enough time to finish the job here. A really nice attempt, but unfortunate, because this is where you see how critical pathing is, getting that full value of your funnels with many of these strategies. This one in particular, things like single targeting Infernos, again, can really roast through. And you can see it's not just that, but those traps, hidden traps that come up and surprise you to start, just tearing away at what you have remaining. A bit unfortunate for Remio, but I'm sure Tribe is very happy to again see another defense here and trying to find their way through, because a win is kind of needed at this point.
Absolutely a flip in who is in the lead now, Tribe, and looking at the bigger picture, this would, if they continue to close out the war, move both teams 8 and 4. That means that Penta still only 2 matches away from them, but Penta only have 2 matches, and Reported have 3 away, and they only have 3 matches. So it would mean that moving through to the rest of the matches, Penta and Reported would have to go flawless to catch any of them up.
And so let's see how Kai continues forward, knowing that they have the 1-star lead here. And Kai Knowledge is actually one of the players that we often see coming in with the final attack. So interesting that they've actually swapped around the position of their players and the timing. Sends in that Zap Quake, starts clearing out the passage for the blimp to sail through. Does have to contend with the CC troops, but he gets that full lure, and the sneaky goblins will be able to ideally, I say ideally because I don't want to jinx it, secure taking down the town hall there.
Yeah, we did see that one occasion last week, didn't we, where there was one little bit of health. That's why I always hold my breath with the sneaky goblins. But Knowledge nicely taking out that area. Now just taking down the clan castle troops at the 6 o'clock part of the base, and trying to pick off any of the defenses on the outside that he can, in order to assure that whilst he doesn't have dragon riders, the dragons themselves are not caught to the outside of the base. He can just push them into the middle. Looks like he's also diving his king and queen across to the left-hand side, so he can push the dragons in towards the multi.
Yeah, nice easy opening. Again, we get to see the use of the Ice Golem to ensure that with all this heavy hitting damage, including the scatter shot and that Warden Tower, he can get as much value out of it as possible. But the dragons are already on the approach. Let's see if they make their way into the center. They need that continuous path, because once they hit the multi, they can force their way through, taking on the eagle quickly. And again, it's those beams. When they get distracted, if they're on the outskirts, it gives the multi opportunity to start picking away at the dragons, but that is not the case here. Couple sneak in there, take that on, and he is on a beautiful course coming through, especially with the Royal Champ sneaking across the backside of the space.
Yeah, that single target Inferno is locked on, but I think it's onto Lassie, not the Royal Champion, so no problem there. She takes that down, and whilst the air defense is picking off the dragons, trying to cling on for Remio's base, it is just not enough. He has an invisibility spell, he has the Queen's ability, celebrating here, keeping Tribe Gaming on top, and just think about how Tribe must be feeling here. Despite having the first attack not go their way, they have put 2 3-stars against MCES, and their bases have held against a team that we know just put up the perfect war, what, 1 hour ago? So they are performing incredibly right now.
Yeah, they are not backing down. And, you know, this shows the confidence of Tribe, the base building that they're doing, and not letting a couple of missteps really get to them and knock them out of it. That's one of the harder things in this game, is to get back on the horse, and after one error, one small thing going wrong, know that you can just rely on your defenses, turn the game back around. You just have to keep your head in it, and that's one of the things that Tribe really excels at.
Well, they are hoping for that defense now, because this will put them well in the lead, moving to the final few attacks. And again, I just can't get my head away from the overall leaderboard here. We are so close to having teams finalized and knowing who is going to be competing in the finals, but nobody can take any of this for granted, because there is still such caliber within the event, and still the teams that can qualify hungry for their victories.
And if we see the top 4 currently, we are in for a massive treat, considering the perfect wars we've seen coming out of these teams. Though, even if we were to switch up, we have seen perfect wars coming out from Repotted Gaming. Yeah, so we've got the Zap Quake, but yeah, we've got 10 lightning spells coming in, looking like he wants to obliterate the core and the surrounding regions. Takes out 2 of the 3 Infernos, clearing out a beautiful path here. And this is easy connection, getting into the town hall compartment, working along and allowing what the heroes can do to actually clean this up from the opposite side. You can see the pathing that this is shaping up for the queen charge is going to push her up towards the scatter shot compartment. And there's virtually nothing really that is making this path too wide for the drag riders.
Incredible. That rocket balloon as well took out a bunch of the Seeking Aim Mines, but look at the Queen. Ability does go off, and there's nothing he can do here, really. He only had the one poison for the super minions, and it does mean the ability is used. He had to use the rage to keep the Queen alive. Would have liked to have had that ability, but it's not the end of the world. She is still up with the King now pushing in, and as long as he can get the value on this left-hand side, he's just hoping that the Dragon Riders can flush through the right.
The King actually taking the lead is huge here. The Queen no longer has any rages because of the investment in that Zapquake opener. So the Queen really needs to try and hang on. The King is allowing this so far, but she's not going to be able to go much further with this mini Tesla farm actually cropping up, and the Eagle continuously firing away, though he does drop the Drag Riders, tries to get this moving along quickly, and she comes back. She regenerates very fast to allow some additional cleanup work.
Quickly got the Royal Champion in there to try and alleviate some of the damage from the Queen. I wondered whether he did that on the fly and was still going to just push the Dragon Riders in further around, but look at this. He's actually caught the Queen and the healers with the Warden ability, and it's meant that the healers have switched to the Royal Champion. What a play, or a couple of the healers have anyway, and it means hopefully he can move through to the back end of the base. But the one thing I am worried about, Lady B, is time here. The Queen has to get down into that 6 o'clock area and start taking down some of the buildings over there if he's going to get this.
Yeah, let's see how this plays out, because we do have that ground bow. We have the Warden Tower to worry about. Royal Champion still in the core, not quite knocked out yet. The Electro Owl is trying. Royal Champion coming through, trying to take out the Royal Champion and the scatter shot here, but the Queen does not survive due to all that damage coming in at her. And this is quite a hefty task for the Royal Champion, who clearly cannot handle the heat coming in. This is relentless defense coming in from Tribe Gaming today.
I think you have to give credit to MCES. Some of their plans in this war have been spectacular, and I would have loved to have seen that one play out. Look at the owl there, just trying to revenge the heroes. Not going to happen. 93%. Tribe now in the lead by 2 stars with only 2 attacks to go. It's looking very good for them at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we see these players. We saw it with Maxi. We even get to see it here with MCES. Things go wrong. The best you can do is try and quickly adjust your plans, work things along, and unfortunately, it's not guaranteed that it's going to work all the time. It was a superb job at trying to adjust that, but, you know, clearly this defense is just dominating for Tribe Gaming today, which I'm very impressed by, considering we did just see MCS coming off a 15-star war.
Absolutely, and I feel the Clan Castle choice obviously going in Tribe's favor there. A different Clan Castle CC combination. Maybe that Queen's ability is not used. Might have been a different story, but honestly, the Queen kind of stalled up a little bit anyway, didn't she? So let's not dwell on it too much for MCES. We already have the next attack from Tribe moving in. The Blizzard having an early stab into this lower compartment. Looking very good so far. Just need to get the... Oh, I thought it was the enemy Queen, but it's actually the King, so it's not as vital. Always nice to take him down, but he's not going to invest any of the spells to that, obviously.
No, he can leave that to the end. He's taken some damage, which even if he does pose a little bit of a problem taking down, he's already mostly down on health, which will make it easier and less of an issue for Time Fail. Gets that wall break in the second compartment, and look at the beautiful value within this open chamber. I mean, with the tank of the Ice Golems, with the King, the Queen, though he still has this Ice Golem left over here. Queen's a little bit hung up.
He's used the balloons. That's good. I was worried.
Yeah, she does come back around, so he is going to be fine on that. And the Royal Champ, of course, to help secure pushing that Queen into the Town Hall.
He desperately needed that, because if the queen hadn't have moved in, it could have been a whole different story. So good use of the balloons on the royal champion to force her in. He is going to have the queen's ability for that town hall. And like you said, this is one fantastic opener. He's actually used the invisibility to save onto the hero abilities, try and get even more value. Another invisibility for the royal champion. Still decides to send in the Lalo from that area and try to protect this royal champion a little bit. The multi-target Inferno in the center is a little bit troublesome, but he's still got the Warden ability, obviously, with the Town Hall going down, and a lot of spells he can use to support this.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where he uses this Warden ability. Not a lot to worry about, though. He does have the defending AQ. The Headhunters need to be clipped in there to help take her down. So ideally, the Warden ability used a little bit earlier in this raid. Freezes and Haste are going to have to be the job to hold off the multi. But hold up, because we've got this Drag Rider coming in from the 10 o'clock side to pick off the multi, and it is zero concern.
Wow. I did not even see that in the army composition. Exorcist had this in the bag all day long. Lava Loon around the outside. Just clear everything. There is no traps. Now the Dragon Rider can move in. Bravo, my friend. That was 200 IQ planning. Fantastic stuff. And it really does put Tribe in a good position now. They just need to close this war out. They are one step closer to qualifying. And MCES in a bit of a shaky spot, because after this war, their only remaining war is against Alternate. And that means that the other teams, MCES, are basically at the mercy of Penta and Reported as to if they qualify.
Yeah, puts him in a tough spot. I'm also taking some notes about bringing in that Dragon Rider for those those center multi-targeting Infernos. I love that play. Very, very smart move there. But we get to see that from Tribe Gaming. But you're right. You know, MCS going to be in a tough spot with this win from Tribe, depending on what we see from Penta and from Repotted Gaming. And, you know, they do have the opportunity to swing things around quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if Tribe beat MCES here, MCES will be hoping that they at least do them a favor and beat Penta and Reported, because that is Tribe's other two matches. So we'll have to see. Maybe Tribe will beat them, but then do them a favor anyway. Kingsman, though, with the Zap Hydra. This is a strategy we haven't seen too much, actually. I think we've seen a lot of the Queen Charge Dragon Riders, but I don't think we've seen too many of the Hydra attacks. So let's see what Kingsman has in store. Lightning spells around the Town Hall just to free open that area, and looks like he's going to have an early stab with the dragons. Oh, actually, it's the Wall Wrecker.
Yeah, setting up the Wall Wrecker here, and also clearing out that path for the dragons. He's wasting no time, which I appreciate. That is a huge thing when we are coming with air attacks, at least the Hydra attacks. We can see a little bit of issue of running to the clock, and it is working very nicely so far. Easy push coming in. I like to see that a lot of these players aren't taking as many risks with the blimp. They're bringing in those Wall Wreckers to get the clear value early on. And now he's able to get going with the dragons, force everything through, and use the heroes, the king and the queen, to the outskirts with a wall break that, curious if he's going to bring it towards the eagle compartment to force along. Let's see how he plays his cards with this, because he still has the air defense he might want to contend with.
Yeah, I think you'll just see where the king gets to. We do have the dragons splitting a little bit, but he's got a good force moving into the middle. The Clan Castle troops and AQ arguably drawing them in, actually. Takes out that central defense as well, as the dragons do split a little bit. Dragon Riders decide to go to the opposite side multi-target Inferno, which is not ideal because the defending Royal Champion is there, picking them off one by one. 3 Dragon Riders went down in a flash over there.
But he still has the power of the dragons behind him. King working into the eagle compartment. Queen has burned through her ability, but if the damage stays off her, she can work back through, help pick this off. The Royal Champion here with a big task. Has to get that multi down, reach over those walls, has the invisibility spell, and even has a freeze to keep this going, keep her alive. Drops that invisibility spell in a perfect spot that allows her to safely get past 2 defenses. Final freeze coming in, and it's coming down to the wire.
Both of those spells could not have been placed any better. The invisibility was a tile perfect to protect her through the cannon and the multi, then freezing both defenses. Kingsman could not have done anything else, and you know what? I think the perfect spell placement might do it. As long as the Queen can loop around and get across to the defending clan castle with 30 seconds, it does look good here. But let's not call anything too quickly.
Walk around, take the opening in the wall. She does, which is exactly what you need to see from your Queen. It's not always guaranteed, but this time around she does it. Will be able to reach over those walls, take down the CC, and with that, Kingsman can get in a 3-star this war.
Exactly what MCES needed. Tribe Gaming still have this war in their own hands, but at least with MCES, they can move forward, getting that first 3-star on the board, picking their confidence up. Remember, their final matchup is going to be with alternate attacks. Tomorrow, I believe that matchup is. So we will have to hope that MCES can finish this one strong and put on a great show, as we know they can in that final matchup.
I think I'm definitely looking forward to that match. MCES versus ATN, always a good one to look forward to. But, you know, this is another amazing matchup. Tribe, MCES, I think if you would have taken a poll, it would have been relatively close, though for the most part, I think it would have inched over to MCES considering how dominating they've been offensively and defensively. Just seems Tribe has found their weakness somehow and able to really come in strong in a match that gives them more security for the wrap up of this week.
Yeah, and I feel that whilst both teams are kind of level, shall we say, MCES beat Tribe in the first matchup, Tribe beating them on this one, they were level prior to MCES's win earlier on, which made them 8-4. But Tribe started this challenge incredibly well. They had a bunch of victories. MCES actually lost a bunch of matches, and then they've both kind of swapped around. Tribe now taking a few defeats, moving from where they were at the top of the table, MCES climbing up, so they are incredibly tied, aren't they? But we've got Kronos looking to finish strong. Can they get the 14-star victory, which would be huge over MCES?
It definitely would. Now we have the King taking on the multi-compartment, shaping up the path here for the Queen. We are sending the blimp through into the town hall, but I would ideally like to see the Eagle get taken down. Queen's actually going to make her way to the multi, which means we can start the drag riders coming in, though I'm not sure if he's going to work it from the top side of the base. The way the pathing is going, I would think he'd come in from the Eagle compartment.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, but then that means he has to hold that Warden ability to get the Headhunters through into the Scattershot Royal Champ compartment, and a bit of a long line drive there.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be difficult, but I can't see any other logical way of doing this. Like you said, he's already got the pathing for the Eagle, just waiting. There is the jump spell, right as I say that, for the Queen to get to the Town Hall. Once he knows that is down, then he can start with the deployment of the Dragon Riders, and it is indeed from that right-hand side. Like you said, we'll just have to hold on to the Warden ability a little bit and hope the Headhunters get through. Meanwhile, using the invisibility perfectly for the Queen to protect the healers as well.
Very nice indeed. And we do have the drag riders working along, minions clumped along the outskirts, but that's going to keep the cleanup moving forward. Royal Champ is actually corralling them back in towards the center of the base. Warden ability is timed slightly early, and the Headhunters did they even get in there? Were they?
No, they didn't.
But the Royal Champ goes, does she go down? She goes down.
She did.
Quickly. The Royal Champ actually came in, helped take on the defending RC. And that worked lovely for this, especially with the Queen, who's just hanging on by a thread to help with cleanup.
Yeah, I think he took more than enough headhunters, knowing, like you said, that the Royal Champion was in that area. I think he had 4 headhunters, sent 2 of them in for the King, delayed the deployment of 2 of them for the defending Royal Champion. And just look at this finish from Tribe Gaming. Dragon Riders left up all over the board, plenty of cleanup. And despite one mishap, They have shown that they are strong at this stage, getting a convincing victory, holding MCES back again and again. And this is what you want to see for the end of the challenge, moving towards the finals. Tribe Gaming now so close. One more victory would qualify them to the finals with the 14-star win over MCES. I am super impressed with Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, we saw beautiful Perfect Wars coming in today. This 14-star war also right up there and on par, particularly because of the defense that came in with it as well. It's, you know, these matches, I feel like we often see either just all offense or all defense. We don't often get to see a team coming in holding both of these in conjunction, which Tribe Gaming has been able to do. They are definitely starting to flex at the end where they've needed to. And as you mentioned, they were doing it at the beginning, so they are coming back around to this when they really need to. Now, Arium looking to finish off for the day. Of course, no way to turn this war back around for them, but you got to keep that confidence going. You have to finish off strong so you know when you go into your next matches that it's not going to fall apart, though. I don't think MCS would have a problem with that.
I don't think so, but check this out. Regular wall breakers. I can't remember the last time I've seen regular wall breakers in the challenge. I can't remember the last time I've seen anyone use them, but Arium using these sneaky goblins and the rocket balloons. Thankfully, he's only breaking the outside compartment, so really doesn't need those super wall breakers, as he is going to aim to jump the queen. Where is he actually going to jump her here? Does he open all the compartments, or does he concentrate her fire? Let's find out, as the king is already on that right-hand side, and he might decide to use the RC to reinforce over there.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's going to go into the multi-compartments and then section off, send the blimp in for the town halls and the drag riders through into the scattershot compartment. Though the queen's going to steer some of the pathing, it does give them a lot of opportunity to work through. But as you mentioned, the royal champ is yet to be used as well. This king still doing a little bit of work, though not enough. Queen is going to go for the multi. Let's see how he goes with the scattershot.
Use the rage here, getting through the clan castle troops, and he actually uses the RC down to the bottom. I thought he was sectioning it off to send the royal champion to that scatter shot. Decides not to. We do have the dragon riders moving down from the bottom of the base. A nice invisibility spell protects both the queen and the healers. There is the battle blimp you talked about, hoping to just have enough force towards that back end scatter, or maybe try and force the queen up there. But either way, still has the battle blimp moving through, and it looks like whilst there's a bunch of seeking air mines, it will get to the town hall. Decides to freeze it actually as the royal champion is moving through. As long as the dragon riders can steer away from the giga poison, he's probably looking okay.
This royal champ's got a ton of value for Arium, but this is exactly what he didn't want to see. The dragon riders working their way through, but he did reserve a rage that gets the queen healthy, full, ready to go, take down the scatter shot and come in for that much needed reinforcement as the drag riders really have dwindled down. Ooh, but
he has done a beautiful job keeping that queen alive, hasn't he? The air defense is still there. Does he have enough time? Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah.
I think we both looked at the clock together yet again. We did the same thing last week.
Oh, so it's all about the storages. Queen's landlocked. Warden is actually going on his own for now. This is 200 IQ Warden thinking for himself, doing the job. But 3 seconds left, and it's going to be a 98. I would have thought it would have at least hit the 99, but oh, wow. That is a heartbreaker to land on for Arium, but a nice save with the rage for the queen there. But we do have Tribe coming in with this 14-star win, and this is keeping these two teams